this bullet point is know your opposing pressure. And what do I mean by that? I mean, know the other people who hunt your farms or in the area. Try to find trends in how they hunt, when they hunt, where they hunt. Um, I've had to learn the art of flanking in social media these days. I follow a couple of these pages where it's like old historical battles recreated with AI and artwork, and they show the big. It's like almost like a video game where they show like, okay, this cavalry flanked this position, and so especially if you're hunting in an area where you share a farm or a property with people who go back to the same specific stands all the time. And that is exactly where and how I learned to hunt. So I had to learn to hunt by flanking these positions because I tried it a couple times where I would go in to good deer movement. They would come in and they would either walk right by me or like they would go there, but their stands were there and that's where they're going. So I had to learn how to flank that position. Or if I said to myself, okay, I know they're coming in here. I need to, what are the deer doing when they come in? Straight lines. They're probably not doing the rule of 90 that I do. They're walking in the path of least resistance, and that usually means maybe bumping deer, or their wind direction isn't going to be favorable for, once they get into the tree stand, they're just hunting. Okay, so what do I need to do to use that to my benefit? And I started flanking. And when I started flanking and being ultra mobile in my setup and moving around a lot, getting away from ladder stands, getting away from, I love permanent stands. They all have their own place, but they also can be like a deterrent if you're unwilling to move. Okay. So I love historical rut travel corridors. I love having a permanent stand there. But if I need to move, I'm moving. So that almost kind of, you know, ties in with being mobile, but know your pressure. And that also has to do with, I don't want to call cattle pressure or tractors pressure per se, but know what are the deer doing when the farmer comes to feed his cattle or check cattle, or when the kids on the farm take their four-wheelers down the two track at as soon as they get off of school, they get off the bus and they take their four-wheelers, or it's a Saturday and they're cruising their four-wheelers down the two tracks onto the fields. What are the deer doing when they do that? Right. And if you have enough of that, you can find trends and say, okay, well, the deer aren't going to be cruising on the two track today. The deer are going to be in the woods, probably more into the terrain features, things like that. So once I started to not only observe the deer movement, but observe how they react to, because I don't necessarily know if you get to understand how deer react to your pressure unless you had some drone flying over your head, which drones don't need to be in deer hunting. But it's really being able to observe others, find their trends, and then implement how you think the deer are reacting to that and find a trend of your own. Right. Um, so know your opposing pressure and figure that out. That's the on, um, same thing on public land.